Hi everybody, it's Fiona Jane from Australia, and I'm just here to give you a quick tip on an alternative to using Mod Podge for your napkins, your tissue paper, even your thin scrapbooking paper, and of course fabric, because sometimes when we use Mod Podge, depending on what country that you live in, the humidity makes it really quite tacky, and it can, I know people have had problems with it, it can stick. I know a little tip to put a little bit of baby powder, or just dust it lightly over the top, that can help. But this is a really cheaper, because I don't know about where you live, but any of those decoupage type glues are quite expensive. I know here they're like $16 for like a very small tub. So I was watching Danny from her YouTube channel is Junk Journals and More a few weeks ago, and Danny was talking about a product in the USA called, I think it was Pellon or Pellon. It's either Pellon or Pillon. I can't remember. And I think she said she bought it in a package, and it came from Walmart. And I think she said she got the tip from Crafty Irina originally. I did try and look on Irina's channel, but I couldn't find it. But anyway, basically what she used is she got her napkin, and as usual, you take off the white layers, and then you're left with a very, very thin piece of napkin. Now, this is what, in Australia, this is what it looks like. And I'm sure if you go to your fabric shops, whether it be Joann's or whatever they're called, where you buy your material, you would be able to get this. This is actually, I bought a whole heap of it. This comes in Australia by the meter, which is probably a couple of inches bigger than a yard, and it was $9.99, and I got a pretty good quality one, a meter, and it is so wide. It is almost like 2 yards wide. It's really wide. And on this side, it has two sides, and I'll try and hold it up to the camera. It has like a woven side, and then on the other side, let me see if you can see this. I'll see if I can. It has a shiny side, and that is the side that you put that adheres to whatever the product is that you use. It's called in Australia iron-on interfacing, and it is actually made to stiffen material when you're making like collars or down the edge of a shirt, those kind of things. So what I did was, the tip is you need to cut, because it is sticky, you need to cut the material, the iron-on interfacing, to pretty much the size of whatever the thing is that you're going to iron on. So you have the shiny side facing up, and then you would put your napkin with the pattern side facing up, and so you iron it on. Now you have to be careful, like I said, not to do it too big, because it will stick to your iron, and nobody wants to have a damaged iron. The other thing is you can put a thin piece of, say, linen or muslin or something over the top, just to make sure, like a scrap piece, just to make sure if you've gone over a little bit that it doesn't stick to your iron. But this is how strong it is. This is a very, very thin napkin, and it is like, it's so strong. So I seen Danny do it with the napkins, and then I had a thought and thought, wonder if it works on other things, because of course I know it works on material, because that's what it's designed for. So it's really good to, if you want to make like pockets in a junk journal or something like that, and you want it just a little bit stiffer, so it just makes it, it's that on the back, just makes it that little bit stiffer. So of course it works for material, works for napkins. I tried it on wrapping paper. Now I made a really big one, but this is actually a really teeny tiny envelope I made. This wrapping paper is super, super thin. And you know how you get the most beautiful wrapping papers? Well, I thought, why not try it on that? Because sometimes, you know, wrapping paper is so much more cheaper than buying really nice fancy napkins or serviettes. So I tried it on that, and it is so strong. Of course, if you try to tear it, you know, it would probably tear, but it is like super strong. It is really good. I'm going to fussy cut this one out. This is another piece of wrapping paper because for my fairy journal, I'm going to fussy cut them out. That's just incredibly strong, and it was super thin. And then I thought, tissue paper. So you need to kind of, with the tissue paper, you do need to adjust your iron to a little bit of a lower setting because it is like the sheerest. But this is, and I'm going to make a pocket out of this piece. This is like, it's just not going to rip. And really super thin, because in Australia quite often our scrapbook paper is, unless you get the double-sided expensive stuff, it is really thin and can tear. And so I did the same to a piece of thin scrapbooking paper. So that is my little tip if you didn't want an alternative to the Mod Podge, and it's quite inexpensive to buy. Like I said, if you're in the US, try Walmart. I don't know the costs, but if you're wanting to really use quite a lot of it, I'm not sure how much you get in a package there, try your fabric store because that's where they'd sell it. So there you go. That's my tip for a day. I hope you're having a lovely, great day, and whether it be in the morning or night, please look after yourself and take care, and thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.